Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog and welcome to another journal with me video. This is my second journal with me video. I also did a video where I showed you my handmade junk journal. I will link that down below if you want to check it out. But this is my very first in a new series I would like to start, which is going to be a fall journal with me. In which I will create pages in that beautiful journal you see before me. It's all trial and error, both the journaling as well as the videos. This is also the last time I'm going to do this voiceover because I've done it I think 4 times already and I'm still not satisfied. Partially because of my stories, partially because I kept getting interrupted by cats and then by the doorbell, which was actually kind of fun because my neighbors aren't home and someone sent them a bouquet of flowers and they weren't home to accept it, so now I'm babysitting the flowers until they do get home, which is kind of nice. I love flowers. So yeah, this journal is a beautiful gratitude journal that I received from Becca last year. I will link the video where I open the box of goodies she sent me down below. I also do a flip through of this journal there. Like I said, I received it last year. Before I did this video, I had not started in it yet. Partially because I was intimidated by journaling. We'll explain that in a second. And also partially because it has a lot of fall elements, so I decided to save it for fall. The first thing I'm doing is making a little list with things that I want to write down or journal about. It's just things that I do not have a picture of, or for example, we went to see the movie Maleficent, and back in the day we used to get those very cool movie theater tickets, but they don't actually do that anymore. We only have digital tickets now, which is very sad because how cool would a ticket be to put in a journal? So instead I just decided to write it down and then hopefully I can incorporate it in some other way. Because my main reason for making this journal or filling this journal is memory keeping. I have that junk journal that I made myself for expressing feelings and for trying art things and making pretty things, and I wanted to make this mainly about memory keeping, like I said. So I was saying that I was intimidated by journaling, and I still kind of am because new things. I'm not good with new things. Hey, Sage. Like I said, I always get interrupted by my cats. But okay, I'm all over the place. I was intimidated because I'm not good with new things, and I'm also very good at pressuring myself to make something pretty, but for some reason I am quite able, once I started I was quite able to let that go. Before I started working in this journal I did not actually want to start in it because I was so afraid I would ruin it or mess it up, but now that I'm actually working in it, it's going quite well. I have been in I have had a creative block, I would almost say, the past few weeks, months. That was just Sage climbing on my lap. I haven't been doing too well, like emotionally, mentally. I don't know, I haven't been feeling my best self lately, and then that also really influences my crafting. I cannot seem to finish a project. I will write a letter and then it's on my desk for weeks, or I will make a project and the letter will be waiting for me for weeks. I just haven't made as much mail as I would have liked. I haven't done as much crafting as I would have liked because I just get in my own way. I let anxiety get in my way, and I found out that journaling is like a way around that. Like I'm crafting without worrying too much about it, which is weird, and I'm half expecting the worrying to come later, but for now I'm good. So I'm actually really enjoying myself. And like I said, this journal will be about memory keeping, and I'm planning on making this a mini series. This is the first video. I've already made the second video. Let me know if you would like to watch that, and then I might actually make some more. Don't worry, I am still a Happy Meal Pen Pal video channel. I want to go back to that, but it's good for me to branch out and try something new. Like I said, I'm doing that in my personal life, but I might actually do that for videos as well. Do some journaling videos in between. Now, obviously, I cut a part of the video because I cut all of the pictures out. I'm going to put the pictures up on the screen. I will put it up in a second so you guys can also see what the pictures are, because they're pictures taken from my phone, which is not great quality, and then I printed them on a regular printer, which is again not great quality. But I wanted to have, I don't know, I did want to incorporate them because I have a phone filled with pictures. I never do anything with them ever, and I thought that it would be fun to print them out so that I can actually look at them from time to time, because when they're on my phone I just don't. And I was also thinking of having them printed kind of like by a store. You can get your pictures printed on actual photo paper by these stores such as Hema. I'm thinking of doing that, but I don't know if that will actually work because it's phone quality pictures, so then maybe it's just a waste of money. But I might actually do that when I have some more pictures to print. But for an initial test run, this actually works pretty well, I think. Okay, so to explain, the page on the left is just an introduction page. I wrote fall 2019 and then documenting my everyday life and things I'm grateful for. And then the picture, that teeny tiny picture, okay, I wanted to print it kind of small, but I also got the measurements wrong, so it's a little bit smaller than I would have hoped. But that picture was a flower in the middle of a lot of weeds, which sounds very poetic, but it's actually not. It's just our garden. I planted a lot of wildflower seeds in summer. None of them sprouted, maybe one or two. None of them actually bloomed, but this one, it's called a zinnia. It actually decided to pop its little head up very late into fall, which made me so happy. We have a spot that I cleared. There used to be plants planted by the previous owners. I cleared out the original plants, so there's a lot of space for weeds to grow. And the weeds also grow. But then in the middle of all of those weeds was a beautiful zinnia. And that made me so happy. I took a picture of it and I decided to stick it in my journal. You saw me use my phone a second ago. That was because I was looking at a message from my mom who told me what the flower was called. So then I decided to stay in that flower theme and pick some dried flowers, also from our garden. You can see a very weird mixture of colors. It's actually from the same plant, both the purple and the blue flowers, because we have hydrangeas in the garden, which is my favorite flower. They are originally pink, but I added some sort of powder to the ground, powder to the roots of the plant, which turned the flowers blue. I hope that makes sense, but I turned the flowers blue, but now the powder seems to have like the effect of the powder is wearing off, so the flowers go back to being pink, and now we have these really cool icy blue and dark purple flowers, which looks so pretty. It's even prettier than the original colors. So I of course had to pluck some and I dried them, and I thought it would be perfect to add to my garden because to my journal, because the garden is just something that makes me really happy these days, being outside in general. And then that tiny dried flower you see on the bottom right is actually lavender, again from our garden. I put that on the page with a little wax seal that says "with love," and some white wax, of course. I thought that looks really cool. At the end of this video I'm also doing a little flip through so you can see all of the pages. But yeah, I think the reason why now was the time for me to start journaling. I'm sorry for my head bobbing in and out of the frame. I keep forgetting that I have a new setup and that my camera is directly above me. I'm working on it. It will get better. But the reason why it's good for me to do this now is because I tend to get lost in sad feelings. I tend to get lost in everything that goes wrong. And I think doing this memory journal will help me focus on everything that goes right and everything that makes me happy. Because even looking at this video of those dried flowers is already bringing a little bit of a smile to my face, because that's just something that makes me realize that not everything, like when I feel sad, everything will feel negative, but these kind of little things such as dried flowers will help me realize that there's good things in life as well. And that sounds very dramatic, but that's just what happens when you're not in a good place I guess you start to see everything very negatively, and I want to break through that. I want to focus on the positive things, which is not always easy. That's the next picture I'm using. It's Noose, Noose in the tree. Again, something that makes me smile. Noose is our oldest cat. She's 3.5 years old and she likes to climb the trees. That makes me so happy. I just decided to stick a picture in as well, and I wrote a little message top right saying the hydrangeas are changing color, and then the message I wrote next to the picture of Noose is that that's also a very special flower. Oh, in case you're wondering, this journal is a combination of English and Dutch. For example, this page, I'm going to cut it in a second because watching me write is not that interesting, but this page is all in Dutch, and it's okay if you guys read it. I don't think you can read it. There's nothing secret on there. It's just a little story about how Gijs and I went for a walk at this castle grounds. I think it's not necessarily a castle. I don't know. We went for a walk in this nature park, and it was so nice. Like, the air was cold but crisp in a good way. It smelled of forest and fall, and we saw so many mushrooms, which for some reason makes me really happy. We played a game. I invented a game called If I Was a Gnome, Where Would I Live? I used to do that with my parents when I was little. We would always go looking for gnomes, you know, like, or little elves or fairies, I don't know. I did that with Gijs now. I mean, he was not as into it as I was, but I kept pointing out ideal houses for gnomes. Perfect mushrooms and fallen trees and stuff like that. It just, a little sense of wonder never hurt anyone, right? That's my boyfriend. That's the place where we were walking. As you can see, a lot of green, but also a lot of orange and brown and fall colors. And I don't know, look at all those mushrooms. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a little kid whenever I see mushrooms, but that just makes me think about gnomes and fairies and elves living in them, okay? But the story I wrote was just about that day, and then the picture you saw on the previous page was of carrot cake. I love carrot cake. Carrot cake is my favorite. We went for carrot cake and cappuccinos in this really cute lunchroom that I follow on Instagram. It looked perfect. I did not realize that it was right next to a children's, like a farm, like a petting zoo. Is it called a petting zoo? I think it's called a petting zoo. A children's farm. What am I saying? That's Dutch. A petting zoo. I did not realize that because it was next to a petting zoo, it would be filled with screaming children. So no, it was actually not a relaxing end of our walk, but we did have fun. And I did get to eat my carrot cake, which is good. And now I'm looking up a calendar. I'm speeding this up a lot because it's filled with flaws and errors. I was looking at a calendar because I wanted to copy something that I saw my friend Kira do. Kira also does these incredible journaling videos. We'll link her down below as well. She does, every month, she does this page where she writes something positive for each day. And because, like I said, I'm too focused on the negative things, I thought it would be good to make a focusing on the positives page as well. And I'm messing it up. This is not how I'm going to end up doing it. I don't know how Kira does that. I'm so messy, but I just end up writing down like 1, 2, 3 below each other, as you can see, and then I still don't like it because it's very close to each other and I will not be able to write anything. So I end up taking mixed media paper scraps, just watercolor paper that I used for something, and then I have those strips left. I use those strips to cover up the numbers I originally wrote, and I write them out again just a little bit more spacious so that I can actually fit in some writing. So I've been doing that. I thought it matched the page header as well, great times. It doesn't have to be great times, it's just I'm trying to look at something I'm grateful for each day. And now we've actually reached the end of the video. I'm going to do a flip through once more so you can see it a little bit more slowly. My favorite page is for sure the one with the dried flowers, but I actually quite like them all. I hope you guys do too. I hope this gave you some ideas. Like I said, I am still a Happy Meal channel. I'm not going to stop doing that. But it is nice for me to do something else for a change. And I thought that I would take you with me in that process. So let me know in a comment down below if you would like to see more. Are you doing fall journaling? Do you do journaling in general? Do you like adding pictures? I want to know it all because it's quite new to me. And I will see you hopefully in the next video. I will leave you with this flip through now, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye!